And then he said, no, the red one.
Oh, that's such a great joke. You should never repeat it.
Absolutely never. That's gross.
Acting.
Hey guys, what's up?
I was actually hoping we just wouldn't even acknowledge that we went live. Just keep talking as if we were in the middle of a.
Who's acknowledging
long stream of
anything? I was just asking how you guys are. What's up?
Oh, you're just talking to us. Yeah.
Broke the fourth wall, man.
There's nobody behind the screen. All right,
Get
I guess
your acting career together, Andrew.
Oh, okay. Y'all have known me by now to know that my acting career is pretty much non-existent.
What?
Although, if you stick around, you will find out that that's not entirely true.
Spoilers.
I'm gonna show a little clip from something in a little while here.
What?
Yeah.
So how you guys doing?
Good.
See, that was my question. Yeah. I've been doing good. Yourself, Dan?
I'm okay.
Okay. You're okay. You're surviving.
The school year's almost out for everyone in my house except me. Because of course I'm a grown-ass man. I continue to work.
Yeah, I wish we got summer vacations. I've been thinking about that recently. It's like, man, I could really use a summer vacation. 2 months off, that'd be great.
You know what? Like, it only works, right, if everyone takes that off for me. Because, like, the problem with vacation,
or staycation.
Well, the problem with any time off is especially in an industry like mine, is that the clients are not taking off the same time I am. And
right.
Just because I'm not working doesn't mean that they don't want things and aren't entitled to get things promptly. So, like, very few vacations are like full vacations. It's always kind of like sleeping with one eye open, keeping your pillow tight.
But do you have like acceptable like work hours? Like, hey, if you send me something at 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm not going to respond to this until maybe the next day at like 9 a.m. on my vacation day or.
Yeah, I mean, stuff that comes in the middle of the night, like if you don't have my personal cell number and aren't calling it enough times to break through Do Not Disturb, I'm not going to see. I've been pretty lucky in that respect. There's very little that breaks in the middle of the night that really needs my attention before the morning.
Okay.
But,
Dan client sound like Omar. So true in so many ways.
Like Omar's like, Dan, I need you. Dan, answer your phone.
Omar's actually a really good client.
Whoa. How much did he pay you? Hey, Rob!
What's up, Rob?
Happy birthday to me. Oh, wonderful shirt. Well done.
Totally coincidental. It's not like there's anything going on or anything like that.
Not like anything that shut down all, like, people leaving work on Friday.
Wait,
Tina,
why are you guys wearing green shirts? No, it's all up in a bun.
Oh, okay.
It's all
I was about to have a panic attack.
Yep.
You need to fill out a form anytime you want to cut your hair. Like, I need to know so I can be prepared.
Oh, you see this? Like, eventually, I've been thinking about it, getting it cut, and when I do get it cut, I'll get it cut ridiculously short because that's what I always do.
Okay. Just please send before pictures, and I'll just paste that whenever we do a video call.
You'll just be a Post-it note from now on.
Yeah. Tina, and it'll be a smiley face with long hair. That's it. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Okay.
Good.
Doing good.
Dan, what is your green shirt?
Oh, it's the closest thing I have.
Yes.
When I got the green shirt memo, I just have the one.
If you lowered yourself just a little bit, it looks like it's Hyrule Castle. So, like, just
I know, right? That's kind of.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
there you go.
Louvers a little bit. Yeah.
just slouch a little. It's okay.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Rob?
Zelda has not been on my mind at all.
Dude, don't lie.
I legitimately
literally the one video game I play.
I knew there was about like a 35% chance that we were gonna have to like pester you on while we were live, like call Dan up, like, hey Dan, you're late. Get out of Zelda.
Oh, we only have the one Switch, and Warren keeps playing it when I turn my back. It's really
The
frustrating.
solution is, Dan, the solution is to buy 2 Switches. That's what we have at our house. So there's the regular Switch, and then I have the OLED for myself.
Of
2
course you do.
Switches. You must be rich.
No, they're like 20
Nice.
bucks.
That's a really deep Back to the Future cut right there.
I mean, the hardware is 7 years old, and Nintendo has not decreased the price at all. But you
Yes,
can go to like Facebook Marketplace and any place else. They're plentiful. To be fair.
I have noticed this. Yes.
Hey, let's see.
'Cause
While we're saying hi, let's say hi to some folks. Hey, Kenneth.
Heyo.
Howdy.
Scott Stapp is with
Again.
us, folks.
Hello.
We might need a new theme song. James. We got James. We
Howdy.
got News Pooey. Am I missing anybody? Oh, look at this. My Uncle Pat is on here joining us.
Hey, Uncle Pat.
Fantastic.
Hello, Uncle Pat.
Retirement. I look forward to that day.
Oh man, retirement, man. They wasted on the
As-
old. I wish we had it beforehand and then
I am almost positive, based on extensive research, that this concept of retirement is a myth.
I don't
right.
think that's a thing.
I'm pretty
They waste
sure
youth on the youth and they
I'm
waste
pretty sure
retirement
that
on the old.
anyone you think has
Amen.
retired has really like just been transported to a different place where they're still working with a simulacrum like left in its place. You know,
Yep. I was
you
about
know.
to make that joke. Or, oh God, what was the old joke from the 60s or from that movie? Like, okay, so somebody help me out here. Who was the guy that played? Wow, never mind. I'm just gonna have to look it up. I can't even think of what the reference.
You gave us no bait at
Give
all.
give us a charades.
Is it
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage?
Brett Favre.
Y'all are so close.
Doogie Howser.
First of all, wow, my
John
brain is
Wayne.
completely somehow farther away.
What was
my
this
brain
about?
went
What was this
completely
show
blank.
about?
Like, I mean, you literally told us nothing. We can't even like.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know. So, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take about 5 steps to get there. Okay, first of all, because my brain has gone completely blank. What was the parody movies that Michael Myers did? The spy ones.
Austin Powers.
Austin-
Powers?
Austin Powers. Thank you very much. Jeez, why couldn't I think of that? Okay, the guy
Halloween.
who was like his, I don't know, his boss,
Two.
I guess.
The
What am I
boss.
talking about?
Michael Myers.
Yes,
Mike
number
Myers?
2. Number 2.
No. That
What
was
number-
Mr. Evil's. No, Austin Powers is
A higher boss that brought him.
Basil Exposition.
Basil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basil.
Oh yes,
the
okay.
guy
okay,
from
okay.
Logan's Run.
Logan's Run. That's where I was trying to go with that.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you so much.
You could have been
Wow.
like the hand thing with the light when they turn 30.
See, you would think that, but I was not. My brain wasn't working. So yeah,
That
we had
was
to go to
a
Austin
deep
Powers
cut,
first.
Mr. Ortwan.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
took us a
that's
while to
where
get
I was going
there.
with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Michael
Wow.
York. Yes, thank you. There we go. That guy,
Michael York.
Yeah. Michael York.
And his brother New York.
Nah.
Hey
Let's not
Andrew,
do that.
about halfway up right now. James has a good question for Rob.
Okay.
Ooh, there we go.
Rob, does the writer strike affect your
Ooh.
job or video game writings in general? Okay, first of all, if someone can invite me to the Discord, send that Discord link, I'd love to join Discord because I've tried like for weeks and I have failed.
What?
If only
you could drop
you
that.
had a little bit of a computer background.
Right?
Yeah, you think 20 years working with you in IT that I'll be able to figure this out? I'm like, how do you?
No, that's
do
exactly the
Discord? What do I
problem.
do?
That's exactly the problem. You have too many years of experience. Yeah.
Too many years IT. It's like if it's not
All
at a
right, so we need to
command
get Rob
prompt,
on-
I'm not doing it. Brr.
So okay, you need to get on Discord, but cheers.
Okay, to answer the question, does the writer strike affect video game people? 100%, absolutely. There are lots of full-time, part-time writers, professional writers for video games, and when they strike, when the Writers Guild strikes, it absolutely affects us and all across movies, films, comedy news, all that type of stuff is affected. So our game specifically is not necessarily affected because none of us are in the Writers Guilds and we just write. In fact, funny enough, what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks is literally staring at spreadsheets till 5 a.m. and rewriting and writing tutorials and language and dialogue boxes and things. And we've just finished a whole big clump of writing stuff. So the writer strike does not necessarily affect us because we're small. But if you're talking about a bigger game where they have like real writers that do like big huge story, we're not a story single player experience. So we don't really need like, even though we have pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of words and interactions between our characters, we don't have like a single player story mode that might require an actual professional writer. So to answer your question, yes, it does affect video games. No, it's not affecting our multiplayer game. And spreadsheets are the devil.
Ooh, spreadsheets.
And I'll even go one further. So the format that Unreal uses is called, it's a .po file. Effectively, it's a text file, but it's formatted a certain way. And those files you can directly edit. But at the end of the day, it looks like a daggone spreadsheet with some extra formatting and things like that and extra features to make it easy to do. So yeah, my eyes are very numb. That's why I'm drinking.
That's really kind of disappointing. I realized that the back end of Unreal probably isn't like the front end of Unreal, but I was really kind of hoping that like the whole interface for building games was like, just walking around and putting stuff here. And,
I mean, there's something called Blueprints where it literally is kind of like Scratch. Please make sure you kids learn Scratch. Where you're dragging
I'm sorry.
blocks
I'm just thinking of like Clippy, like just be like, where would you like to put the text? May I suggest over here?
Like when you say there is like, in Unreal, you can say default shooter project and it's like a shooter game. And like your default character is literally like this like plasticky robot dude that moves around. So I could see him saying, I would love you to add this block of instructions here. That's AI driven. Maybe that doesn't be the next version of Unreal where robots are building our code for us. So that part is drag and drop. But then like there's also, if you want to write hardcore code in C# or C++ or whatever, that's there. And then, like I said, it imports and exports CSVs and PO files and It's a lot of fun, and that's again why I'm drinking.
That's a lot. Yeah, I'll drink for you on that one.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, I've got a few things that I want to make sure we get through tonight. So the first one, I want to just give a shout out because this was pointed out to me. So a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 Tuesdays ago, I think. Maddie had me guest on Old Reader, New Reader on Near Mint Condition. And neither of us realized it, but somebody pointed out in the comments that was the 5-year anniversary of that show, which stunned us both for like a second. We were like, wow, this has really been around that long. So shout out to Maddie, who's been on Old Reader, New Reader now for 5 years.
Yay, Maddie.
She's not with us tonight, but yeah, we're giving her props because that's pretty cool. I had no idea. Did y'all realize that show's been around that long?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't have thought that the channel had been around that long until I did the math and realized
it's been what, 7 years?
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I found some old pictures of us and shared them in the chat, and it was like, oh my goodness, like we look at same because we're all in near mint condition, right?
Yeah,
but it's still looking at the dates of these pictures. Like, oh my goodness, it really has been that long. Except for you, Andrew. Like you have a lot more hair than you did in the pictures of that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I think I have more hair now too.
I was gonna say you have more hair now.
I think most of us have more hair than in that picture.
I don't know. I just have more forehead, I think.
And a beautiful forehead at that.
Nice.
So yeah, props out to Maddie. Props out to Old Reader, New Reader.
Nice.
Oh, look
at
there
that.
You go.
Nice.
First thing you ever watched on Near Mint Condition.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for supporting.
It's a good show. It's a fun show. And that means that I've actually read something twice now in 1 year, which,
Hey,
you know me, that's like a record. So yeah, books. Yeah. This thing called print media is
fun. Your head will get too big. You keep reading them books.
Are those like strategy guides that have stories in them?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Just give me
it's
some
not manga.
Nintendo powers.
So,
yeah.
Speaking of strategy guides, Rob, I have a question for you in particular.
Okay.
As a video game person,
Connoisseur.
literally made of pixels. When you're playing a game, like,
Wait,
oh,
this me.
I don't know, Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
How often?
Now available on Nintendo Switch.
How often are you finding yourself like, screw it, I'm Googling it?
Okay. I First of all, let me put the caveat in. I 100% ordered the strategy guide. It'll be here June 19th or something like that.
Yeah, somebody's gonna write it first, right?
Yeah, someone has to write it. Now, back in the old days, and some of you all might remember this, when I worked at Babbage's, America's computer software headquarters, we would have the strategy guide day and date with the game. And if you bought the game with the guide, you would get 20% off the guide as incentive for you to do this. And back then, people would get built way early because it would take months for games to be physically printed. So there's time to make a strategy guide. We are not in those days now. We are in a days where games go gold like a couple of weeks before their release. And that's just not enough time to make a huge freaking book and all the strategy things like that. So today, in the year of our Lord 2023, if I get stuck in a game, I generally try and power my way through it because, I try and honor what the developers have put before me without cheating. But there are some times where I'm like, time, Dan, is the enemy of the near mid condition person. If I know I only have like 2 or 3 hours to play a thing and I have other games I need to play, or the kids are going to be awake, or the wife wants to hang out and do something, or I have an event or I have work or whatever, I will stop and go to the Googles and be like, how do I do this? For Elden Ring, I had literally like 17 tabs of where do I get this item? How do I build this thing? How do I get through this cave? Which order should I do this? Because ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Now with Zelda, I'll tell the Zelda story later in a bit. But I'm going to put a little bit more me trying to figure it out because that game seems to be very organic and you figure out and solving problems and puzzles and things like that before I go to the Google. So I probably won't go to the Google very much with something like this. I'm going to enjoy it. This is like a 5-year game. I don't care how long it takes me to finish it. I'm just going to take my time. If I get really stuck on something, I'll leave and go do something else, right? So for Zelda, not much. But for something like Elden Ring or some other games, I am not afraid to hit up the Googles and the YouTube videos to try and get through something. And one more thing, I hate now that if I'm trying to solve something, watch this video. No, I don't have time to watch a 15-minute video. Write it down so I can read it and go, oh, okay, and then do the thing. Like in this video, we'll discuss how.
It all depends on how you want to play the game. Like if you want to get through it and power through it, you're going to get those like walkthroughs. But that's an important thing. Like I was thinking about the other day because I'm playing Ace Attorney. So I'm going through those games. Objection. Hold it. And my wife immediately was like, oh, this is stressing me out. Just pull up a walkthrough. And I was like, I'm not necessarily going to GameFAQs this, Yeah. But when I go to GameFAQs to look up certain things, I'm like, there's not always that many walkthroughs as there used to be or as in detailed. You really have to Google some of this stuff.
IGN does a pretty good job of putting like for the bigger games they have like pretty detailed like Wikipedias and things like that, so that's good. But something a little smaller like Ace Attorney, you have to find like a fan guide on GameFAQs. And I remember this again, I'm dating myself here. I remember being in college in university and going to like GameFAQs and printing out like the text printing out like these GameFAQs like how to beat this game, just a glob of text. Those were the days.
Back in college, I printed out like 1,000 pages of Animal Crossing when it came out on the GameCube, just so I could get every collection. And I would just
I can't say anything. I did the same thing. Wow. I wore out that printer, but it was all text, so it was fine. It wasn't like it was like color pictures and things like that. It was just text. But
that's before they charged us per page. We got it for free, man. Of course, I'm gonna print that baby out.
So, like, I love to see in the comments, like, do you guys? So, there's 3 thoughts on this. The person who powers through it just is like, I'll figure it out. The person who sporadically hits up GameFAQs or friends, or the person who's like, I'm not playing this game. I just want to see the story and the cutscenes. Who's just strictly just pushes the buttons as they watch video. I'd love to see some comments on that. Good question, Dan.
I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm the first one. Power through it. Maybe it depends on the game, but yeah, I'm mostly that.
If I'm frustrated, it's a walkthrough immediately.
Well, and the main reason I asked is because where I don't play a lot of video games, I feel like I am missing a little bit of game literacy, right?
Mm.
And
That's
because
the
there
thing.
are
Sure,
some
absolutely.
things in some, already in Tears of the Kingdom where I've come across where literally it was just like I could have worked at this for an hour and not figured out that this was the solution because it didn't even enter my brain that that was a possibility, right? And
Yeah.
and these games are very good at educating you as you go along with stuff like that. But sometimes there are just those mental chasms where it's just like I can't get to the other side of this. I don't understand.
Yeah, so that's
Yep.
called onboarding, where you get the player to go through, like, actually play the game,
Right.
but in a tutorial sense, right? So they can learn some of the basics. And you're absolutely right. Back when the original Legend of Zelda came out in 1986. Ooh, I have it right here. Oh, it's within arm's reach. Oh, and I broke everything. Ignore that.
You fell.
Look at that. Yep.
Oh.
So when this game
not
came
opening
out,
games since 1986.
open it? I don't understand what you're saying. I think I heard a blip in the system that opened the Legend of Zelda. I don't understand. So we've kind of gone like a full circle in the Zelda series. And the original Legend of Zelda thing that I just pulled out, like it was like, duh, figure it out. F you. There's no guide. The game
But Nintendo
itself,
Power, you had to wait for Nintendo Power to come
Yes.
out, man.
Yeah.
Or call the
And inside-
hotline, that
Right.
stupid hotline.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I can never call that number. My mom and dad would get
My
so
mom
mad.
would
That
have
cost
tanned my
75 cents a
hide.
minute.
Uh-huh.
I got to look it
So-
up. I want to say I still remember the number.
I remember
800
800-255-3700, but that was like the main Nintendo number. That wasn't like the hotline.
I just
Yeah.
remember the budget jingle.
That was the number for Mr. Nintendo.
In this game, there is not any onboarding. It's like figure it out yourself, right? Now, nowadays, we have what you just said. Like we have like the Great Sky Island, and like we have the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild, where it walks you through how to do all the things, and like puzzle elements are laid out in the world. So you're like, oh, okay, there's a minecart and a hook and a sail here. I guess I'm supposed to stick those things together, right? So you can figure that out. But Breath of the Wild is really cool because it goes back and it's like, okay, it teaches you how to do the controls in the game, but for the most part, you're like, figure it out.
Yep.
Without spoiling anything, I was tasked with going to this shrine, and I couldn't figure out how to get up the shrine at all, or get up to the shrine at all. In this ice, I'm falling down. Like, what do I do? And typically, again, modern video games are very good at like, hey, here's some things that might help you solve this problem. And in Tears of the Kingdom is like, no, just you figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm cutting down trees, I'm sticking them together and make sure it's like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Because this goes back to your point about being trained in video games. I have been trained with modern video games that modern video games kind of hold your hand to do something, right?
It's
So
within
you're
the
like,
area directly that you're in will give you the answer.
Yeah. And Tears of the Kingdom, I've seen. Now, again, I'll talk about this later. But thus far, there's a lot of, no, you just need to figure it out. We told you a couple things. Apply it and figure it out yourself.
Right.
Which I kind of like. But then at the same time, I'm like, I only have an hour to play this before someone's going to be up, or I need to take someone to soccer or martial arts or whatever thing that we're trying to do, right?
And I'm going to have forgotten the small thing I learned here that becomes the essential thing later on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Like, I don't remember doing this. Okay, I guess I need to do it again. I don't remember what does X do? I don't know.
I will say, so as you know, I'm still powering my way through Breath of the Wild because it is my 5-year game. And
don't let peer pressure get you to play Tears early. Like, you keep playing Breath of the Wild. You do you.
Yep.
I still haven't picked up Breath.
That's what we're doing. We're taking our time with it.
Here, I'm going to give this to you. Here you go. There it is.
But yeah, in fact, we are taking our time with it so much that I am often going back to the settings screen to look up the power, like the moves, right? Because I'm like, what? How do I slide on a shield again? What's the button combo I have to do? I love the fact that it's just right there in the screen.
Jump in the back button, I think is what it is. Oh, by the way,
it's
everyone, please do this. In the option of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, there's an item in the option called Swap Jump. Please turn that on, because then that puts jump on the B button like it's supposed to be, rather than like X or whatever weird button it is by default. Please put jump on B. Please do that. And look at options like swap jump.
Public
Do that.
awareness campaign.
Do that. Because jump, the
Wait.
Lord did not intend for jump to be on X or whatever random button they've stuck it on. It needs to be
Wait.
on B.
The Lord did not intend for the jump button to be the top button.
That doesn't make sense. What game have you ever played where it was the top button? It's always B. Always B.
It seems natural if it's off to the side or down at the bottom. Top just feels
down
funky.
at the bottom. Yeah, all jump needs to be down at the bottom. That's what jump is.
I'll even take it on the side occasionally, but not.
Friends in the
not
comments,
the
let us know if you know of a game where the jump is not B.
I want to take X's jump.
I know
I want
there's
to take
one.
a quick poll here.
There is one, and I will think of it eventually, but I know because it's annoying.
Leave it in the comments.
It's annoying. That's
is
why,
it
understand...
Paperboy?
Paperboy? The throw the newspaper bicycle game?
Yeah, it's one of the older games, and it was really annoying.
Yeah, the reason why this poll is going to fail is because nobody has jump on the X.
Okay, no, I want to take a poll real quick though. Inverted vertical or normal vertical?
Don't say normal. That implies that inverted is abnormal.
Well, it's
inverted.
Inverted. Okay, verted or inverted? How about that?
So, this is at work. This is a very, very divisive thing at work because maybe not half, maybe a third of us are inverted all day. And if we don't invert our controls, we're like looking around and like, I can't play the game. So like a big chunk of us are inverted. And we have an open area where sometimes we have the game and like, I'll change everything to inverted because that's the way. Like, again, look at this. If I want to look up, see how my head does the same thing? Look, I'm looking up, looking down. And if I'm flying a plane, so inverted is actually correct. I'm sorry. Everyone who's not is incorrect. I'm sorry. So we'll go into the lab. I'll play all the games, stick them all inverted. And then these regular control types come in. They're like, Rao, you're freaking messing up the game. I'm like, no, I'm doing it correctly. It's just labeled, wrong. Yeah. That's also another poll I'd love to see. Team inverted unite.
Yep, inverted here.
And I also think it has to do with like the age of who started playing games. Because back in the PS2 era, there were a bunch of games that was the only choice that you had. So I think you got used to it, and that's just how you are. And that's what it is with me. I don't know if it was Final Fantasy or Red Faction or something where that's the way it was, and that's just the way I've just always played. So to this day, as soon as I start a game, the first thing I do is change to inverted. And when we were developing our game, like the controls were regular, and I was like, guys, stop production. You need to put in some code to invert controls because I can't play our game.
Yep, that sounds right. I didn't hear. I think I heard Dan was inverted. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Tina, are you verted or inverted? Or
inverted?
The natural way. X all the way at the bottom. It's always going to be at the bottom.
Don't follow. Wait, what? No, we're not talking about the jumping. We're talking about if you're
the camera controls
joystick or thumb pad or something like that. Yeah.
I get used to them. I've played both. I don't think it just takes you a second. Inverted usually.
Okay, inverted usually.
You're ambivertrix.
Yeah, there's certain games like it just drives you nuts and you're like, but there's other games like the learning function's really quick on. I don't know how to describe it, but invert it usually. If I have an option, invert it.
Nice.
So the four of us, look, I'm pointing here, pointing there, and there. Okay, we're all team mostly inverted. My kids, I did enforce children, you're going to play the B button. You should ask someone out of context. You should ask someone out of context if they're inverted and see how they react. Yes. I'm going to start going on the street. Hey, are you inverted? And then, to be a gamer, heck yeah, inverted for life, right?
Next time I'm in an elevator.
I have not enforced this doctrine on. I let them shoot. I have enforced jump on the bottom button. I have enforced that. You're changing your controls. I have done that, but I have not forced inverted controls on them. Because I'm a good dad.
Okay. I want to take a break from video games for just a minute because I've got a personal brag. So I've mentioned here before that I am and my wife Sarah are both involved in a local Star Trek fan film production here in Central Kentucky, and we just put out a new video for that. And so, I need to share the link.
I was gonna say, put the link in the description over there.
Yeah, and I've even queued up a little clip. So here's the link in the comments.
Oh, fancy. I can't even
Say what that is. Star Trek fan film. I know how to type. Okay. I'm going to share a clip real quick because I have lines. Share screen.
It's really funny if it's a clip from Mac and Me.
If it's for clip from what?
From Mac and Me.
That would be great.
Like I had to do something about it.
Agreed. We should show this threat what we've got.
Check out this makeup and this set.
Are you the black dude?
Marvelous.
No.
Captain, what do you think it's made of?
Nothing we would know of.
Its structure is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Who's that dude?
I wonder how fast it can go. Captain, I think we can outmaneuver it. Yeah.
That look said you're a dumbass.
You're famous.
Get us a little closer. Keep a bearing.
Acting. All right, that's
Every
it.
line so well. Yay.
So go check that out, folks. We would really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm super excited about it because I've actually gotten more involved. I was trying to avoid the temptation to do production on it. So at first I was just acting, but quickly I was like, oh no, this would be a lot of fun. And they were very welcoming to it. It's been a great group of people to be with. So actually the next one, I'm even getting to do some editing chops, which y'all know I love to do. So
Nice.
yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
been
you got
fun.
a chance to be like in front and behind the camera. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, you all know when we did near mint conditions for the longest time, I didn't really want to be in front of the camera, and it's kind of nice to do it a little bit. It's a little challenging for me, and I like it. So, yeah.
Your
It's
delivery
fun.
was very natural. I felt I was like a nerd in space. So good job.
Oh yeah, that's totally it. It's kind of a trippy episode. It's a little bit goofy. It's kind of Star Trek in that way, you know, a little bit camp, a little bit serious. What we got here? So close. Well, let's see. Yeah, that's true. I think isn't there is a YouTube award of some sort, I'm pretty sure. It has actually. So on the serious side, like this show, there is, I don't know very much about the Star Trek fan film world, but there is a lot out there. There is at least one YouTube channel that is literally just news about Star Trek fan film productions. Like it's done up. They're all like green screen. This looks like a news studio kind of thing. Almost feels a little bit like ESPN/CNN. And I think it's called Trek Zone. And yeah, they've mentioned us multiple times on there. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Go check it out. The link that I shared there is just the link to that particular episode that I was showing, but check out the whole channel. There are, I want to say, at least 100 videos up there because they've been doing this for like 10, 11 years now, something like that. I've only recently been involved, but it is pretty cool. Yeah, good fun. All right, that's all I wanted to say about that. Thanks.
All right, I'm saying goodnight to my kids.
Aw.
Let's see.
Now I'm done with dad duties. Let's get back to. Oh, oops, she's still there.
Bye-bye.
Rob,
Parenting, I recommend it.
you had a birthday recently. Oh, sorry. Birth month. My
Birth
bad.
month.
Birth
month.
month.
Birth month.
It's Rob's birth month, everybody.
Let me explain why I have birth month. Because I'm me, and I need the whole month to celebrate. And also, people do things for my birth month. For example, Nintendo released The Legend of Zelda for my birth month. Thank you, Nintendo. I appreciate that.
That was awfully nice of them.
Yeah, Bit Brigade, they came into town, did a concert for me. Thank you, Bit Brigade.
That was awful.
There was a big, huge horse race for me. Thank you, Kentucky Derby. Thank you, Churchill Downs, for hosting that horse race in my honor. I appreciate that. And you know, thank you. See, tourists understand. Happy birth month. And there's other things coming down the pipe too. The Lee Underwood, the guy who sings "Proud to Be an American," he was in town today for my birthday and was signing bottles.
Really?
So he signed that for me. Yep. So thank you, Lee. I appreciate it. Good for you. Thanks for coming down to come see me on my birthday.
What was he signing?
Bottles?
Bottles of I don't have a bottle close by.
I caught
Bottles
that
of
too,
liquor.
Dan.
But you can't be more American than bottles of bourbon, right? Right. And seriously, purchasing the bottle supports like veterans causes. I don't remember what specific things they were. It's like, you know what? Sure, I'll do that and hang out with this guy. So, and yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy came out for my birthday. Like, thanks James Gunn for releasing this movie, which legit was a really good movie. He listened to my feedback. I was like, hey, don't make it be bad, make it be good. And he
I haven't
did.
seen it yet.
No spoilers.
And I
You
wish
should
more people would listen to that simple advice.
Dude,
right.
don't do the bad thing. Do the good thing. You know, make it good. Don't make it bad. He did a good job. So yeah, and as the month continues, now because I'm a gracious, loving husband, my wife also has a birthday. So a happy birth time slot for her. I let her choose. She could choose 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., or 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So she got a happy birth time slot.
Those time slots are more nailed down than the cable company. That's pretty great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly, right? So, yeah, for her happy birth time slot, we chose 6 to 10 and we watched Guardian. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
And then we reverted right back to my birthday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
As it should be, yes.
Let me tell you the cool swag I got for my birthday. I got to tell you the cool swag.
I'll see it.
Mute him.
Mute him.
Nothing, because all the things I want cost thousands of dollars. I'm like, let's just wait, because I want an arcade cabinet. I want this thing. Like, you know what? We'll just chill on getting presents for my birthday. Your presents, because one of my love languages is time together, is all that I need. And you guys, like being here and talking to you guys, this is all the presents that I need. So thank you very much. I'm
very sad.
I love you guys. So again, thank you very much. And for your birthday, it was cool just to be virtually present for your birthday, Andrew. And I'm looking forward to all you guys' birthdays and things like that. So
that's right.
So good.
That's right.
Thank you.
We did this on my birthday, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes, we did. Sure did, because I had that was a chill day.
So many things I could say there.
What?
Speaking of birthdays, segue. Speaking of birthdays, we just mentioned that Old Reader, New Reader has been around for 5 years. I also did not realize until it was pointed out to me that Near Mint Condition, the channel, that birthday is coming up, I believe, next week. I think it's like the 25th, maybe. Oh yeah, I think it's next.
Maybe doing a live for that with Omar.
I believe so. In fact, yes, I'm pretty sure Omar is putting together a live thing for that. So, all you folks, if you don't know already, go check out Near Mint Condition. I don't know if it's scheduled already or not. If not, I'm sure soon.
Might have stolen the thunder on that a little bit, but it's fine.
He's got a few more viewers over there. I don't think it's that big of a
Yeah, but this is where everybody who isn't an omnibus collector is hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. The folks who like video games and manga and Transformers and film production, they are like, oh, I didn't know that. So now they'll go to the other channel.
Yep, there we go. I totally ruined it.
It's fine. Hey, you channel, just keep it on the DL. Shh.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I've known Omar for a long time. This is the crap I do to him, so
it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah. I'm going to try my darndest to be on that. Our technical test for the game is that same day, so there's a very strong possibility that I will be screaming and yelling and gnashing of teeth. But at the very least, I'll be in the background. I
should probably post something on TikTok about that.
Oh, I need to see a Tina TikTok.
It's not a Tina TikTok. I've been heading Omar's TikTok on Near Mint Condition. So if you see a post from Omar on TikTok, it's not Omar. It's actually me posting for Omar, pretending to be Omar, and then asking Omar questions because I can't Google it enough to find out the real answer, because Omar knows everything on the top of his head. Omar is Google.
Omar is Google, but Omar is not TikTok. Yeah, I wondered that when I started seeing Near Mint TikTok showing up with Omar on camera. I was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait.
Trying to explain to Omar to shorten his brevity and give not as bad as Rob here, but
guilty.
Look,
Oh, man.
I mean,
now I really am starting to feel bad.
No, it's fine.
All right.
It's fine. Again,
Everybody.
everyone,
Honor
chill,
system,
act
folks.
excited, act excited. Keep on the DL. You just got some because you're watching us. You got the cool privileged information. So keep on the DL. Be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Yay!
That's right.
Also, later we're going to talk about Omar's bank accounts.
Oh, I have his credentials right here. It's like, oh, it's not focusing, but okay. When it focuses, you'll see.
All right. Forget everything you just heard in the last 5 minutes.
I don't want to look at Omar's bank accounts because every time I go over there and I see a new Omni, I'm just like, how much was this? 150, and the one next to it, 150, and the next one.
No, those are sent to him. It doesn't count.
Not all of those. Not all of those are advanced copies, Rob.
A lot of them are.
Oh, so here's an idea. Yeah, because Omar is going on a 2-week, I think, vacation coming up here soon.
Yes. Apparently, Maddie and I have been conscripted to run the channel while he's gone.
I do like the implication that Omar is the revolution and we are the conservative counter-revolutionary push.
Yes, Comrade Dan.
We're the royalists.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Baron Dan, Viscount Rob.
Can we just do a live stream where we just sneak into his basement and casually rearrange all sorts of things?
Do that stuff.
We can totally shoot that. Tina, I want to be known as Lord Robert. I like Lord Robert.
Lord
Lord
Robert. Okay.
Lord Robert. Yeah.
Robert the Bruce.
Lord Robert II.
Lord Robert of the cabinets.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
Tabs and the pins. I like it. Tina, that's fantastic. I like it.
Okay. That is a good segue because, we've been dancing around this, but before we talk about a certain Zelda game, does anybody else have anything they wanted to bring up? Because I'm pretty sure once we start talking about this, it might go for a little bit.
I'm actually finally reading Berserk. That's about all I've got.
Ooh, how many volumes in are you?
Omar lent me the first 4. So I got through that, and it was really funny actually because I was like, hey, when I was filming TikToks for him, I was like, hey, I want to actually borrow Berserk because I say that every time I come over, but I'm really meaning it this time. Like, give me. And so he immediately goes, well, I want to preface this by saying, give it until the golden age. Like, you're going to have to get through it, but it gets really good at the golden age. And so I put the books down. We filmed some TikToks, and then Melanie comes home. And she picks up the books to, I guess, go put them away. I'm like, no, Melanie, I'm actually borrowing those. And she's like, let me just say, Tina, you gotta hold on. And it gets really good at the golden age. I was like, literally, that's just what Omar said. How bad is this that you both have to tell me?
Oh, man.
Wait until it gets to the golden age. It gets better.
It's a little rough at first.
It can't be the best of all time if 2 people are telling me, hold on, it gets better.
No, it's not that. It's a little rough. And then it transitions, and you're like, "This is some of the best writing I've ever seen."
He's already been like, "Hey, how is it?" And I was like, "I must be desensitized because I'm like, that's okay."
Yeah, I'm a few volumes behind. I have up to volume 9, I think, so I still need to get to the last 2. I think the last 2. Yeah.
I haven't read any of them.
Oh, and go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I am an adult, and I do not have a heart. I have a beating gizzard. That said, there's a couple of times where this is so beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah, this is like one of the few Marvel movies, Marvel Phase 4/5, where it's like actually legit, really good. Like legit, it's a good film. So
that's what I've been hearing. Yeah, might have to check it out. Has Tina or Dan? Have either of you seen it?
I haven't.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Oh! It's another thing for film. Super Mario movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, we did talk about this last time. I think we did talk about this last time. Yeah, we did. Go watch that. It's available to stream right now for $30. Like, just wait a month to buy the disc. Yes, I'm gonna do that.
Ooh, that was some ridiculousness.
Yeah,
I will buy it for that, but maybe not even buy it that. I'll wait until it's in the Walmart $5 bin, and then I'll buy it.
That'll probably happen. But I have to say, I'm kind of surprised that movie has made over $1 billion. First animated video game, to make $1 billion. So,
wow, didn't realize that.
The drive is playing. The local drive-in is playing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Dungeons and Dragons back to back this weekend. I know nothing about the D&D movie. It has the super sexy Renee. What is his name in the Bridgerton?
I know who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I don't know actor
Him
names.
and I haven't seen this D&D movie. When we were in New York. It was all over the place. But supposedly it's actually pretty good if you like Dungeons and Dragons. And they tried to stay very close to the rule book, the latest rule book, which I applaud for. They still had to do a couple of changes just because film only has 2 hours to get through. But that's something I want to see. I'll watch it and get to streaming. I bought the live action. I did too.
I think
With
you might
John
have
Leguizamo
I was
and
gonna
Bob
say, yeah.
Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
one you got there for $5.
Yeah, I got that too. And you should, if you haven't seen that movie, you're like, because I saw that movie when it first came out. I was like, this is terrible. You should watch it again. It's still terrible is a harsh word, but
It's so
something.
cheesy in the right nostalgia way. It's something.
It's something.
Here's a little tidbit about that. I just learned a couple of weeks ago that from coming from like a filmmaking perspective, that movie actually like kind of made a breakthrough as far as like all of, I don't say all, but a lot of modern CGI effects in movies and stuff like that have that Mario movie to thank for it.
Really?
Because please don't quote me because I don't know if I'm remembering this exactly right, but I want to say that that was the first movie that did a heavy dose of CGI that wasn't ILM. That basically was like, we're going to go off and do this ourselves. That they didn't, I think part of the thing was that like up until that, I don't know if ILM is still like this or not, but up until then, everything that ILM did, right, they developed all the software to do all this stuff. It was all proprietary and they kept it all inside. They did not share it. Super Mario came along and they had to create all this software for it and all these processes and techniques, and they were completely open with it. They're like, here, everybody else go use it too.
That's really cool.
So, I know. I had no idea. I was just watching a channel that I come across every day, and the tagline was like, "We have everything. We owe everything to Super Mario, not that movie, not the one you're thinking of." And I was just like, "What?" Yeah.
Okay.
So
I need to Google through this. That sounds very interesting.
Check it out.
And there's a lot of, I've seen watching the movie not that long ago. There's a lot of very cool practical effects, which again, if you watch it again, you're like, okay, I see what they were trying to do here. It's not a complete train wreck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of it's a little rough. Some of it's not bad. Some of it, like you can watch it, like you said, yeah, you see what they're doing there. Maybe just squint your eyes a little bit, and it's pretty good.
You squint.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was weird. I hope that wasn't
I saw the live action movie in theaters. I still remember the product placement with the Babam wearing Reebok shoes and the audience laughing. See, there you go. Like again, product placement in an early movie, in a 90s movie. Yeah, no, it's
Lots
not
of
as
Doritos,
bad
lots of Pepsi and Coke.
Yep.
It's not as bad as you think. It's not great, but it's not as bad as you think.
Y'all, I want to hear about Tears of the Kingdom. Tell me some stuff without spoilers.
I want to talk about my experience, and then I want to be quiet because I've been talking a lot, but I really want to talk about my experience with Zelda. So as you guys may know, when I got married, the theme of my wedding was The Legend of Zelda. Music was playing. All the nerds were like, "Oh my God, Zelda!" And all the old people were like, "This is great, Bach and Beethoven and Tchaikovsky." Like, no, right? I named a child after Zelda, right? So I'm when I got married and after came back from the honeymoon, I was like, "Babe, I love you. We got married. This is super cool, but I have to go play the Wind Waker. So I'll talk to you in like 2 weeks." Like, I'm a big Zelda fan. Right now I'm wearing the hat, the shirt, the belt buckle. The underwear is a map. It's a map of the kingdom. It's pretty good. It's a cool map. So I'm all about Zelda. So last Thursday, the 11th, there's a midnight release at GameStop. I was like, all right, I'm going to take a nap. And then because I'm an old man, I'm going to take a nap and go to the midnight release.
That's pre-gaming nowadays. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Instead of pre-gaming with this, I was pre-gaming with sleep. So I was like, all right, here we go. Woke up at 1 a.m. Like, well, I guess I missed that. Oops. That's I was on the floor drooling. Fran was like, "Did you go to the midnight release?" I was like, "No, I fell asleep." Oh man, but it's fine. It's fine. I missed out. I want to do a street pass with Andrew64, but it's fine. So the next day, I was like, all right. I messaged in our Slack. I'm like, cough, cough. This is what I typed. Cough, cough. I'm going to be sick tomorrow. And then I pasted a link to IGN, 10 out of 10, Game Informer 10 out of 10, Zelda, the best Zelda, whatever. Oops, I accidentally pasted this link about the Legend of Zelda, unrelated to me being sick and not going to work at all tomorrow. Haha, they knew what I was going to do, right? So Friday was Zelda day, not work, not do anything. Get the game. So all the stores open at like 10 a.m. Get the game, get home, play from like 10 all day. That was the plan. Just play all day. So I do, in fact, get up, pick up the game, get home. Now, as I've mentioned before, our developers are overseas. They're 5 hours ahead. And there's an issue. I was like, oh, gosh. I can't, ignore these guys. I need to, actually do some work. So I'm working and typing and consulting. I'm on the phone. I'm doing the Zooms. I'm talking to our consultants and, we're trying to figure out the things. We get everything solved. But it takes about 2.5 hours to get everything done. But everything's resolved. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm hungry. It's 2:30. I'm like, okay, I got to make some food, and then I'm going to play Zelda. Then I eat the food. I'm like, okay, it's 3:15. My children show up at the door. It's like, okay, it's 3. It's a little later than I wanted it to be. They're here, though. We can all play the game together. It actually works out much better. But, okay, I got to feed them. We got to do some chores. I got to do some cleanup. All right, it's time to play the game. Here we go. Wait, there's a soccer game. Okay, take it to the soccer game. All right, we get back. No. Okay, I got to take it to martial arts. Okay, we're good. Okay, we got to do gymnastics. So 8:30 p.m. rolls around. Finally, we all sit down, and I can start the daggone game for a whopping 30 minutes. Oh, sorry, kiddos. It's bedtime. Dinner with a hangover. So my plan for Zelda Day, again, I have Zelda tattoos. I only played Zelda for 30 minutes on launch day, and I'm very disappointed because adulting sucks and I don't recommend it. Now the next day I got a chance to actually play a couple hours and it's fun, but now I haven't played since then because I'm at the kids were like, Daddy, please don't play without us. Anytime there's a cutscene, they want to see a cutscene, right? And right now I'm at a cutscene where I'm getting ready to get a send to do the thing, right? I can't play because that's where I'm at. So I have not touched the game since, again, Zelda. Look at my belt buckle. Zelda.
Careful there.
Right?
Easy. This is
Hold
still
on. This is a PG stream. PG stream is fine. Yeah. So I have played a few hours of the game. I love what I've been playing. It's not like they took Breath of the Wild and just added, we're just gonna make it bigger. No. Even though I've only played a few hours, story, awesome. They've added music. They've added dungeons. They've added more mechanics, more gameplay elements. So it's not just a bigger Breath of the Wild. It's like a whole new thing. And it blows. And anything you're like, this is going to be kind of annoying. No, that all the things that were annoying in Breath of the Wild, they have solved or banned, not changed. It's so freaking good. And I can't wait to jump into it more, play more, and talk to everyone about it. So yeah, even though I'm only a few hours in because adulting sucks, I'm absolutely in love. And that is my review. 10 out of 10. 99 Metacritic. Buy the game.
I will say I am flabbergasted that I have got more time in Zelda than you do.
Dan, who does not play video games, has played more Zelda than me. There you go. That's how much adulting
opens video games.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It is easier to play them when you open them. But
wait, was I supposed to open it?
It's the whole time. I've just been looking at the box.
Just one of the 5 versions that you bought.
Yeah, right.
I have some cool Zelda swag. This is a fanny pack.
Who did you pre-order from?
Who didn't I pre-order from? This is the fanny pack. Zelda fanny pack. This is the scarf.
Oh my god.
This is the art print.
That's pretty cool.
Ready? And this is the
wooden
block.
I was going to say, you got the wooden block.
Wooden block. Now you're probably asking, where did all these copies of Zelda go to? Went right back to the store, and I kept the swag. What? No, that'd be dishonest. No, I bought some from my family and friends.
And you
Some
get
shifty eyes.
And you get a Zelda.
You get a Zelda. You get a Zelda. You get a Zelda. Okay, Dan, please. Okay, I've talked enough. Please tell me about your Zelda experience. Go.
Well, naturally, think about I'm too clever for my own good. So let's say I spent a lot more time on the Great Sky Island than perhaps was warranted because I didn't go do the thing that you have to do to actually turn everything on. And so like I'm
So
climbing
you're just
around.
wandering around.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I'm like, when I was reading these reviews, it was talking about abilities. Where are my abilities?
You were old manning it. You're like,
Why can't I find
I
my
want to
abilities?
speak with the manager.
Oh, man. There's no abilities. So you don't know what
Yeah.
this thing is.
So
Hand, right?
yeah, the first time going to Google was like, oh, why am I not finding my abilities?
The
Because
meme with John Travolta.
well, it's basically like the game tells you go do this thing, and I'm like, oh well, that means eventually. I remember how this game works. I'll get to it eventually. No. In this particular instance, that's the thing you need to do right away.
That's fantastic, Dan.
So yeah, I spent a lot of time exploring and figuring out mechanics without like half the mechanics. It was fun. And
But see, that's the thing.
Well,
You
that's
weren't playing the
nice.
game as intended necessarily down the path, but you
Yeah.
were having fun with it,
I
right?
did have fun. It was definitely a bit on the frustrating side.
You got to see things that the devs hope everybody look at.
True. There was a lot that I found that I was proud to find on my own. But now I'm just in the thick of things, running around trying to.
Are you on the ground?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still in the sky again. I'll get down to the ground at some point.
I will tell you, I have found 2 glitches so far. One was just like getting stuck in a spot where it thought there were rocks, but there were no rocks.
Huh.
The
Interesting.
other though was I jumped into a chasm and one of the dragons was frozen in the chasm. And so I just like at my leisure walking around, taking all the stuff off the dragon.
Really? That's pretty cool. And I assume you have like the patch, the update installed.
Yeah. It was just, I don't know, maybe that's supposed to happen. It didn't seem like a thing that was supposed to happen.
That's not supposed to happen. So I had to give Nintendo props, even though you just said you saw 2 glitches in a short amount of time. I have to give Nintendo props because if you remember, Pokemon like Violet and Scarlet had a lot of bugs and were choppy and things. And we saw Redfall come out with a lot of bugs and choppiness, and Dead Space with a lot of bugs. A lot of these games are launching with bugs and choppiness and things like that. Tears of the Kingdom is solid.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean,
solid.
Let's say this was certainly to the extent it was a bug I didn't mind one bit.
Yeah, that's more of a
free
glitch
stuff.
than a bug, I guess.
More of a secret feature.
Yeah, it's a feature. It's a feature, right?
Yeah. So
A
I
bug
have,
you can
like,
take
a
advantage
set
of.
of absurdly powered up weapons for where I am right now.
Hey, I kind of want to talk more into this so I can go cheat and do the same thing you did.
Right? Yeah. But no, I'm enjoying it a ton. I have not gotten as much time to play it. My son has played it a lot more. It is nuts making because he's talking about all these things that he's done, and I'm like, I don't even have a clue about what you're talking about. Like so far out of context for me, I got nothing.
I don't know the fudge you just said, but you reached down deep and touched my heart.
Exactly. So I had a lot of fun though. So
that's good. Yeah, and I think that's the thing, like, with these, Zelda has gone back to this formula where it's just like, just play around in the world.
Yeah.
Which is why I tell you, Andrew, like, just play around in Breath of the Wild. You'll get to tears. It's not doing
That's what we're doing. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure we've gotten just about all the Korok seeds there are in the whole game.
900.
We're close. We're very close.
Our fellow friend Brian posted not that long ago. He got 899. I was like, bro, you need to go through the spreadsheet, figure out you're missing one.
That would drive me nuts.
That goes back to printing that out and
Right.
marking it off as you go.
If you just printed it out from the start and checked it off, you would have had
Check
it.
each and every single one. That's how
Rob,
you
I
find it.
watched a video the other night. I'm curious if you know about this, being the Zelda expert. I watched a video that just came out like 9 days ago, I think, that is let's see, how Nintendo solved Zelda's open world problem. And it basically was talking about how like very early versions of Breath of the Wild, Tina was just talking earlier about like, did you go down the beaten path or did you kind of explore around? And when they first came out with Breath of the Wild and they were doing lots of like, probably even alpha testing, I don't even know if it was beta testing, they were talking about how they wanted you to go from tower to tower. Those were kind of like the main points, and you needed to get to those things to make progress in the story. And what they found was that people were sticking way too much to the path. They weren't veering off the path at all. And so they started figuring out like, how can we get people to kind of go off the path and encourage them to explore? And like one of the things this video says is that the shrines was one of the answers to that. That was not part of the original like kind of plot, I guess, to the game. That was totally something they added in just because they had a problem of like, how do we get people to go just explore and amble around more? Do you know anything about that? Does that sound legit? I'm very curious.
Okay, yeah. So I can talk just a little bit about this, and we are at our time limit, so I'll try and keep this brief. To keep it brief. But when Breath of the Wild was being prototyped, it was a overhead Zelda 1 looking game, and they were testing systems. So they made like a prototype that looks like Zelda 1, but like they had like fire and wind and interactions and things like that. And they also had this open world type thing. So they were testing to make sure these systems work and this open world type plan type work and things like that, which is pretty cool. Then when we get into like the full game, like what they were trying to focus on was how can I get like exactly what you said. We want you to get from point A to point B. And how they do this is with towers. Like most open world games, like Assassin's Creed and like, you know, everything that you can think of, Far Cry, have these big towers you climb up. In fact, Nomura-san, the producer of The Legend of Zelda, before Breath of the Wild came out, he was playing, which game was it? I don't remember if it was Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or Mafia. He was playing, I think it was Assassin's Creed, and he was really enjoying like these towers that get you to look around the world. And then Breath of the Wild comes out, right? So like, you know, these designers and developers like playing these things, and it makes it down
Assassin's
to
Creed's the ones where you climb up the tower to do the faithfall, and then
Yes,
you can see
exactly.
the full area, and you'll see things that you haven't seen before.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure Ayinuma-san was playing Assassin's Creed, and I think that's the game that he said, but he specifically said, I really like the towers in this game. And then we have Breath of the Wild, right? So yes, ultimately we want players to get to all the towers. But the thing is, we also want them to go off the beaten path. Well, how do you do that? There's little distractions along the way. So yeah, I want you to go to point A, point B, but if you look a little bit to the left, you can see something glowing. The shrines are there. Sorry, something glowing over here. The shrines are blue. They do that to get your attention. Or there's fire over here. They do that to get your attention because the eye is naturally drawn to light. So as you're going from point A to point B, there's also little things that you can see. And if you know Breath of the Wild, if you can see it, you can go to it. So absolutely, like, you know, we want you to do this. But one of the cool things about Zelda is, and Dan, you kind of talked about this at the beginning, like, you know, our brains are trained to go from here to here, but if you go over here, there's more treasure. That's a video game thing. So like anytime I play a game, Dragon Quest 3, there's an opening dungeon to determine your personality. And like it's like there's a left and right, and there's a sign that says go to the left. And me, because I'm a video gamer, like I always go to the right, and there's a pit or whatever. That says, oh, you're defiant or blah blah blah. That same like logic upholds to this game. You can go down the beaten path, but if you go over here, there's extra treasure, there's extra items, there's extra armor, there's extra weapons. So how do you get that? Flashing light, enemies, shrines, things like that. So absolutely, this is on point. This is on point.
It was
game design 101. There you go.
Yep.
Tip your
Awesome. That's good. I put a link in the comments. I thought it was a really interesting video. I had not seen some of that stuff before.
And the last thing to say about this, is open world games have been done many times before. Like Zelda's not the first open world game, and not necessarily that Zelda's the best open world game, but Nintendo, and I hate to compare this to Apple, Android comes with these cool features. Apple, like, makes it like smooth and streamlined 4, 5, 6 years later, right? After the technology's been defined. That's how I look at Breath of the Wild. Open world games are not new. They've been around forever. But then Nintendo's version of it, it's so smooth. It makes sense. The transitions is perfected.
They've been able to refine it, and it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Breath of the Wild is, and especially Tears of the Kingdom, because Breath of the Wild was a Wii U game. It was not a Switch game. It was a Wii U game. So a lot of the Wii U hardware and limitations ended up on the Switch. Tears of the Kingdom is all Switch, so it can take advantage of everything. That's why it's bigger. It's a new engine. There's more mechanics, more things to do because it's not hobbled, I hate to say hobbled, by the Wii U's technology. So that's how we get a real, all-encompassing Breath of the Wild with all new functions and systems and things like that. So
imagine if there was a new Nintendo that came out with it.
Or imagine if you could play Tears of the Kingdom on other hardware.
We don't talk about piracy in this channel. I will say, as a game designer and producer, sometimes it's important to stay on top of news and things like that. So that's all I'm gonna say about
that. Lawyer Dan, is that? Are we good?
I have no complaints.
There you go. All right.
Distraction. Look at this wallpaper from Tears of the Kingdom, and the sleeve. Look at that. I wore the sleeve everywhere in public on the opening weekend, and people were like, "Rob, did you get tatted up?" I'm like, nerd, look at this. No.
Awesome. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night.
I think I'm a tired adult.
You're a tired adult. That's right. We're not gonna make it to 1 a.m.
It's hard. I don't recommend it. Recommend it.
Nope.
So love you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for joining us for our little celebration of the Legend of Zelda and Andrew, like being a superstar in Star Trek. And you guys, it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Happy birth month to Rob.
Thank you. Any other events that happen in May, just know that it's because of me that they're occurring. So you're welcome. Continue to celebrate. Happy Steak and Cake Day.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Every day.
Awesome. Everybody, thanks for joining us. It has been a lot of fun. Great to see some faces out there. We'll do this again next month.
We'll see you guys next month and maybe next week.
And maybe next week. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
Nothing's happening.